the quick story about Boardmasters, which I hadn't even thought of. I had my worst ever, and I'm not saying this to hype it up for podcast, but genuinely, I always put this down as my number one.
This is a clip.
My worst, my worst ever hangover at that festival. I have never been more hungover in my life. We went out in Cornwall the night before. There was me and Tom Norris, who people may know from the old podcast, good friend of mine, and Jack Joy and a few other people. And we went out. There was a boat in Cornwall, which is like a bar. It's not like a boat party. It's just like a boat they've turned into a pub. And I went out, drank a lot of Stella, and I'm not a beer drinker really, but I was drinking Stella that night. Got back to the tent at 5 a.m. Work was due at 7. Didn't sleep till 6:30.
Oh.
So my head's hit the soil. Obviously, there's a thin layer of tent between that.
Yeah.
Fall asleep. Next thing I know, Jack, wake up. I was like, mate, I've literally just closed my eyes. I don't know what's going on. It was boiling hot, and I had to go up to girls that day and asked them if they wanted a date. And I remember and I'm pretty sure I can find footage of this, so I may be able to post it if enough people want it, but that was the most attractive girl we got, was at Boardmasters. Like very thin, beautiful, blonde haired, like proper like stunner. And I remember I was so hungover that there was like a marketplace outside the festival, and I just laid down in the middle of the floor in the concrete, and people were like walking past me, and I was trying to be a professional at this point because like there was a camera crew there and a production fucking crew. I didn't know what to call them, but I was just laying down because my head was so spinning. I didn't know what I was doing. Then they were like, Jack, get up, you've got to now ask some girl if she wants to date. And I just remember going up to this like blonde girl and just being like, and I was stinking, sweating, like I had 1 hour sleep. I just went up to her and went, excuse me, are you looking for a date? And she just looked at me up and down and went, not really. I went, it's not for me. And then she was like, oh, okay. And then she ended up going on a date. Yeah, so I got absolutely mugged off. But that was the worst hangover of my life, and I never want to go back there. Not back to Cornwall, back in that dark place.
That's it.
What's your best festival?
Reading.
Yeah?
Yeah. Specifically, or just festival 2015, mate.
Who was there?
Metallica.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Big Metallica fan, big heavy metal fan.
Just one of the best, the best live act I've ever seen in my entire life.
Well, I bet they're one of the kind of bands that do like a massive set.
Yeah, they played like 2 hours, and it was absolutely insane.
2 hours? I thought that would have been more than that.
It's because it's a festival, isn't it? I think if they were headlining their own sort of like show, then it would have been longer. But it was just phenomenal, and there was casualties.
Casualties?
Yeah. Oh, it was brilliant, man. So basically,
don't just skim over that. Some people died anyway. Their best track is number 7.
He hasn't, though. He's got some people died. Bloody brilliant.
But casualties don't mean fatalities, though.
No, but he probably wish he was. Nah. So basically, we were at the front, yeah. And I was there with my mate Jordan. Just to picture Jordan, he's like 6'3", brick shit house.
Were you on your own?
Yeah, just big.
There's a lot of mirrors.
Jordan and Jordan.
Yeah, me and my friend Jordan, separate Jordan, different Jordan, not me.
Inner Jordan, they call him.
That's it, my conscious. No, So yeah, we were at the front, and Metallica towards the end, they shoot, like bands, they shoot off all the streamers and stuff. They shot these massive, like Metallica, like yoga balls, like exercise balls, and they all landed and stuff.
They're quite heavy, them.
Yeah. Well, basically, 2 dropped nearby, and this pit opened up. And you see online the videos all the time. It never fucking works. When 2 people with the big fitness balls run into each other, it always ends in
one of them goes flying.
Absolutely. So this pit opened up, and this lad behind us, he was probably about 16, and then this other guy on the opposite side, they locked eyes, and everyone could tell what was about to happen, right? So this lad goes to run, and my mate Jordan gives him a bit of a boost. He shoves him, and he loses his footing, and so as he's running, he's like stumbling, and he loses like the line, and basically what he does is he completely crumbles as he gets to this other guy, and just his face just crunches into this guy's shoulder.
Oh.
And he just gets up all day. His face is pissing with blood. This is actually on the vlog I did at Reading 2015. Pissing with blood. And he just turns around and just went, I lost my ball. He's just like crying his heart out because his face is fucked, mate. Like he's gonna have facial reconstructive
Don't worry about your
surgery.
ball. Worry about your two front teeth. You cunt.
Exactly.
They're in the
And he
dirt.
was just so worried about this ball. But yeah, Metallica definitely was the best thing I've ever seen. without
Really?
doubt. Yeah.
Because that was going to be one of my later questions, like who's the best like sort of headliner you've seen. I think mine would probably, and I can't claim to be like the biggest fan of this person, but would probably be Eminem.
Yeah.
Yeah, I reckon so. I saw him at, I've seen him a few times. I think I've seen him 3 or 4 times. And the most recent time I saw him was Coachella. I went to Coachella last year, which, I mean, if you line up a list of YouTubers and you had to vote who you think would be the most likely to go to Coachella, I'm very aware that I would be in the bottom bracket. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
One of Will and E's first ever videos before he got any kind of notoriety or any kind of like viewers, he put up 2 pictures, and then there's one of me before my old jaw, and then he was like, what you expect to see from Coachella, and it was Joe Sugg looking all beautiful and chiseled, and then there was what you expect to see from Leeds Festival, and it's just me with a massive underbite, probably eating like a cheese toasty or something.
And that is the most true thing.
It's true, but last year I decided to go. I was already in America at the time, so I thought, why not just fucking go see what it's all about. Saw Eminem there. And I know this isn't a reflection of the fucking mass population of America, but this was the small demographic that I saw. I'll get on later on why it was a terrible festival, but we was watching Eminem and he brought out Dr. Dre, which was incredible.
Yeah.
And 50 Cent was out as well. And it went, California, you know that song, Time to Party, like that. And then and we're in California. So I'm looking at my cousin like, oh, this is the best thing I've ever seen. And then this group of American kids just went, turned around and walked off.
What?
And I was like, I get if you don't like Eminem, but 1, why are you already here?
Yeah.
And 2, why is that the point that's made you go, ah, shit?
Yeah.
They despise California.
If Eminem started going like, I could be lonesome, I'd be a little bit shy, just started doing like Mika.
Would you go for Mika?
Well,
All the things you could have pulled out.
Yeah, that's what would make me go, I've had enough of this.
This isn't what I
Trying
expected.
to be like Grace Kelly. Dr. Dre comes, ooh, 50 Cent, but all my looks were too bad.
That would make me stay. That would make me stay. No, not because of that, but like, imagine going to see Eminem and that's what, you couldn't miss that.
If he's doing jazz hands. So I try little Freddie. I want Dr. Dre and 50 Cent just to harmonise the ooh. That's got to happen now.
Christ.
But yeah, no, we were in California, they dropped California and people walked off. I may as well just go into why I don't like
Go on.
Coachella.
Do a rant.
Yeah.
Do a JaackMaate rant.
It was imagine this, yeah? Imagine if you got every single Instagram influencer in the world, you have to have 100k at least, otherwise you're not really an influencer. Not my rules, theirs. And you put them in a big pen, and then you put the heat above them, so they're all getting nicely bronzed. How do you get bronzed? You wear less clothes. They stood there, these American people. I'm sure there was a lot of Brits as well, but like the worst kind of people. And they're just taking selfies, just constantly.
Yeah.
If you want to drink, yeah, you can drink there, but you've got to do it at a pen at the back of the festival. There's designated drinking zones.
What?
You can't take your beers out to the main stage. No, that's mental. That's
Why?
I have no idea. I got Stevie, you can do the maths on this. I got a
Here we go.
2/3 pint of Heineken. It was $14.
What? So it would have cost $21 a pint,
For a pint of Heineken. Yep.
which at the moment is probably about 18 quid.
Oh yes, $21 for a pint. Also, are you tipping? Are you tipping there?
I assume you have to.
Yeah. Well, if you don't tip, they look at you like you're a mug. I am the mug. I'm paying $21 for a Heineken.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh
That's
my
crazy.
fucking god.
Yeah.
Why are they in 2/3?
Because there was just 2 thin little glasses. You'd see the 2/3 written on it.
That's grim.
Yeah.
That's disgusting.
It was horrible. There was a dance tent one night which was really good, and that actually felt like being back at home. Really, everyone got a bit nuts in the dance tent, and it was like there must have been about 300 people there because the Americans are like, oh my god, I'm not going to go and get sweaty to that. It's fucking nuts.
They're in
mate.
their thousands,
Oh,
just
man.
standing still.
Yeah, they're like they wear like this. Obviously, sounds like the dream to all the single guys and possibly gals out there, but there's very little clothes.
Yeah.
There, like they'll wear like they will wear mental shit, like shit you don't even comprehend people would wear. Like you know them daisy chains.
Yeah.
I've seen someone wear one of them as underwear.
What?
That sounds
I know.
like a dream, mate.
That just sounds like thrush waiting to happen, doesn't it? Like, that is mental. I don't know how you get thrush.
Daisies, apparently.
Yeah,
Stop rubbing daisies on your vagina.
It's more yeast-based, I believe.
I like to think there's some girl out there watching this going, oh, it's daisies. Is it?
She's I'm not doing that anymore.
Oh, dear.
These will go on Nan's grave. We'll make use of them.
Jesus, that's the Vagisil brand deal gone. Fucking
Like we
hell.
ever had one.